Well, it is that time of the week that I need to show up. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate that you showed up. Do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And I've had a fairly eventful week. I unsuccessfully attempted to amputate my thumb while cleaning out a candlestick. That was not fun. I got to spend a couple hours in the emergency room getting stitches in it. And it's nasty. It's really bad. But we were talking about how, number one, I'm left-handed, so not that big a deal, really. It's just my thumb. Well, it is a big deal in the sense that my Steam controller's touchpad will not respond to the bandaged thumb. Oh, woe is me. It'll respond to the end of my thumb. But, yeah, that's, I can't really use a controller for the next few days. Probably a couple weeks. But, things seem to be okay with it. I was a little bit concerned about blood flow because I hit a blood vessel. It was pretty serious. There's blood everywhere that I still haven't cleaned up back here. But something I was just kind of vaguely thinking about today as I was just like traveling around the internet and watching the discourse. A lot of people don't understand competition or how competition works. The purpose of competition is to improve. You use it as a tool for you to improve. There are 3 people up at the top, typically your gold, silver, and bronze medalists, your first, second, and third place winners. There are 3 people up at the top that get recognized as, oh, you've proven that you 3 are the best at this particular thing on this particular day in these particular circumstances. So you get a prize. But if there are 10 people competing, 7 of you aren't going to win shit. So why are you doing it? Okay? I mean, you can't all be that fucking delusional that you think you've got a shot. You know? So why are you doing it? Why are you competing? The answer to that should be that by competing under these controlled conditions, you can get an objective measurement of your performance, and you can compare it to the last time you competed in these conditions. The first time you do it, you're just seeing, what is my performance under these conditions? And every time after that, it's, how much better did you do? My first gymnastics meet, I sucked. I got an average score 2.7 on all my events. In my second gymnastics meet, I did somewhat better. I got a 3. There's never a good gymnast. Is never going to win anything. I'm not going to get a trophy. I'm not going to win a prize. And then we moved, and I went to a school that didn't have a gymnastics team, and yeah, that whole thing fell apart. I had a lot of issues growing up where I couldn't really focus on anything because in a couple of months we were going to move. And I would end up in a new environment, in a new place, and would the thing I was interested in even be available? Typically not. So that was frustrating and annoying. Anyway, the purpose of competing is for you to try to get better. It's for you to try and do better than you did last time. And if you end up doing better than everybody, then great, you get a prize. But the purpose of the competition is not to beat the other guy. It's to beat you. It's to be better than you were. That's what you're supposed to be doing. And if you don't do better than the other people, who the fuck cares? Okay? The reason that people watch the competition is they want to watch people striving to be the best they can be. And they're all going to applaud the top 3 people. But they're going to show up to watch you because you showed up. That's really what it is, showing up. I'm not a great artist, not by any stretch of the imagination, a great artist. And you're going to see that in spades today because I got a thing I'm going to try, and I've never done it before. So I don't know what the end result is going to look like, but the purpose of competing, the purpose of entering a contest is to put your stuff out there and say, did I do better? Did I do better this time than I did last time? In order to enter the contest, I've got to do the thing that they want me to do, and I've got to get it in by the deadline. Those are important. Those are things that clients will want you to do when you get commissioned for a piece of art. They're going to want you to do the thing and get it done on time. And you'll be rewarded for that because you're competing against yourself and nobody else. And like a huge contest, like Clip Studio Paint's probably running something right now. What are they doing right now? They're doing... It'd be under the notifications. Hello? Yeah, there we go. Just to switch over real quick. You can win 20,000 Clippy tickets, which is $200 in fake money for Clip Studio Paint's store, for the best materials related to a ball gown. And you have until April 15th to submit something. And there's accepting tutorials for tips of the month. And this month's themes are how to draw muscles, 3D painting tips, and animating facial expressions. So if you wanted to enter either of those things, the real point is not, I want $200 to spend on shit in Clip Studio Paint's store, or I want to win money for doing a video tip. One of the things that you learn with this is when companies have these ongoing things that are applied around the entire world, you're competing against everybody in the world. Do you really think you're one of the top people in the world at doing something? I'm certainly not. My interest in that would be, if I did a video tutorial on how to draw muscles, my immediate thought would be, how do you use the various tools in Clip Studio Paint to draw like exposed muscles, like actual like anatomical diagrams of muscles? How do you make muscles look like muscles? How do you shade muscles? How do you construct them? How do you blend the colors, and how do you make the silhouette look appropriate? That's the direction I'd approach that from. And my question, if I actually entered that competition, would be, can I do a good video tutorial on that? And the answer would probably be no. And I would answer that all by myself and go, this fucking sucks, and I'm not entering it in the competition. I wouldn't win anything. Of course I wouldn't win anything. I'm probably not going to enter it in the competition. I'm probably not even going to make the fucking video. I'm definitely not making the video. I don't know why I'm even talking about it. But by entering the competition, the primary goal is to do the thing and to get it done on time and to get it submitted. That's what you actually want to get done. That's what you want to complete, because that is your challenge to you. And if you can do that reliably and consistently, clients are going to like working with you. That's a good thing to do. And when you're designing materials for ball gowns, okay? you're looking at it a little bit differently than other people probably are. You're probably looking at designing a material to build ball gowns with the idea of, oh, if I design this material, I could win something. The judges are going to be looking for something that actually helps people draw better ball gowns. I don't know what that would be right offhand. It seems like we've already got plenty of lace and ruffles brushes out there that are perfectly useful for this shit. I don't know what somebody's going to do that specifically belongs to a ball gown that we don't already have by the hundreds. But the point of submitting something there is to find out how good a job you can do. It's not to try and get the money or to try and get the clippy points. The fuck spends $200 in the store? I've got 740 clippy points right now. I don't want anything in there. Like, what are people buying? What are people doing? I don't understand. Like, what's in there that you want? What does that do for you? I don't see the point. If you know the point, let me know in the comments. Like, why do people buy shit in the CSP store? What for? I've bought some stuff. I don't use it. I bought these, I think I bought these. I have these ink brushes and shit. Like this ink splats thing. I don't know why I have this. Like, what good is that? I guess you could do like blood spatter. Blood should be darker. I guess you could do something like that, I guess. It doesn't seem to scale with... Yeah, the brush doesn't scale. As you make it larger, it just gets more scattered. I don't know what I would ever use this for. I don't know why I bought it. I think I just bought it because I had the points. May as well have done something with it. I don't know. I used to have some gold. It expired. It's like, I paid real money for that. Why did you expire my real money that I spent? And the answer is so they don't have to keep it on their servers forever. If you haven't used it in a year, you're probably not going to use it. So, anyway, I don't know why people. I wasn't even showing you my screen back then. Let me go ahead and show you this ink splats brush that I was talking about. See, it makes these little splatters that I guess would be useful for blood spray. But if you make the brush bigger, it doesn't actually make the splats bigger. It just spreads them out more. If you make it really, really small, it's still big. They're just really dense. Like if I make the brush as small as I can, they're just very dense, and it makes kind of a line. And if I make it big, the bigger I make it, the more spread out it gets, the more space it takes up. So I don't know what I'd ever use that for. I mean, blood spatter is the only thing I can think of that I might use it for, and I don't really draw blood spatter that much. There's a secondary color here. So you kind of do a dual color thing. Let's come back over here and do something more saturated. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't see any point to that. I don't know why I bought that. I don't know what I'm doing that for. I got these oil painting brushes. The oil painting brushes are kind of interesting. I don't know. They don't seem that useful. It just seems like a waste of time. I'll stick with my horsehair. I like my horsehair. That works well. But yeah, to go back to the point, competition is about you. It's about getting out there and facing other people who are also doing the same thing that you're doing and proving that you can weather that you're not going to be afraid of the competition, that you're still going to turn in the best performance you can, that you're still going to improve, that you're still going to meet the qualifications, that you're going to meet your deadline, that you're going to get the thing done. That's what's useful about that. Getting a prize is not the useful part. So anyway, now that I've already got the paint program up, what I want to do is I want to try run grab a piece of reference. I want to try working from some reference to work from large to small on something. And let me see what I can find. What exactly is that supposed to be? Oh, interesting. I don't know why that's in my reference folder. That belongs to the main pictures folder. Okay, what have we got here? Let's start from ugh. Having trouble finding a good reference picture. Here we go. Let's use this picture of let's use this picture of Nifty from Has-Been Hotel. So we'll drag that up here and we'll give it some size so we got something to work with. And here's what I want to do, okay? I want to start with, let's do some stuff for the palette first of all. There's kind of a hot pink thing going on here. Sort of a magenta, it's highly saturated. A little bit more red on that. Something like about that. Something like that. Yeah, that looks about right. So, Make a little swatch for that. And then we want to go a little darker and a little cooler for the main hair. No, that's not right. We still want to go more saturated. That looks about right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and put that in. And all right, we got this orange over here. About that color, and I'm seeing it right around this space, I think. No, that's too saturated. Let's desaturate it a little and also make it a little darker. No, we want to go brighter, actually. So there we go. Not using the color picker is how you develop your color sense. Now, the black is black. We already know that, because this is a Hasbin Hotel image. Let's look at this skin color. This skin color is highly desaturated and very bright. It's also kind of purple. So something like that? No, that is way too saturated. Let's go that. A little bit more saturated. Not that saturated. There we go. So there's the skin right there, and we've got a gradient going into this yellow over here, and the yellow is kind of orangey yellow, something like that. That's too dark. Let's go like that. No. More yellow, more saturated. Still a bit dark. There we go, that's better. Still not quite right, though. There we go. Bit more saturated, bit more yellow, bit brighter. Yeah, there we go. Okay, where did my nice purpley skin tone go? Too bright, too dark, not saturated enough. What about there? There we go. So there's our skin, and then we've got kind of a gradient to red, and it's kind of a bold, saturated red. Like right around there. A little bit darker, like so. That's too dark. Okay, let's come up there. That looks about right. And there's more for the eye. And the teeth are just a kind of plain yellow. Fairly saturated, fairly bright. Fairly pure yellow. Desaturate that a bit. Bit more. Quite that desaturated. There we go. So there's the teeth. The teeth are about the same color as the inside of the eye. Then we got this, which I think is about the same as the hair. It's about right. And we got the dress, which is about the same as the skin. You know, a little bit more dark and saturated, like so. Yeah, there. So that's kind of the dress color. And then we got our background. Our background is kind of the deep purpley color around, well, sort of a reddish purpley color. Something around here, darker. There we go. It's especially dark up around there, so let's take that. A little bit darker. And that runs a gradient. Comes across to more of this color. Yeah, that looks about right. A little bit more. Yeah, it's too light. Close. Close enough. I think I'll go with that. Okay. So we've gotten our kind of colors off of this. Now what I want to try to work with is to kind of go from large to small. By which I mean, I want to start with these very large kind of swaths of the background. And then I want to kind of blend those in together. So we'll take our kind of blend tool. Kind of blend that across, blend that down. These colors are not perfect, obviously, but then I don't have the greatest color sense ever in any stretch of the imagination, by any stretch of the imagination. And okay, so we've got this kind of beginning statement. Now I want to go to the black. I want to come back to my horsehair, and I want to go. Okay, so I want to kind of think in terms of what is the thing that's going on here? And we're going to come up here. And now we got these shoulder pad things. We do shoulder pad thing there and shoulder pad thing there. But we also want to do this kind of swoopy bit here. I think I am compressing this. I am definitely compressing this. Wait, am I? Not by much. I think this is still salvageable. We want to get this color in here, and we want to get this neck. We want to get the side here. We're going to go up and around. We have the form behind it, and we want to draw through. I want to fill that in. And then we want to that bit there. And what I'm trying to do here is get a feel for working from large to small. And I'm not happy with my results. I'm not liking them. But I want to look at this and go, okay, I've made the head way too wide. Like, way too wide. I thought I was compressing it, so okay, so let's reclaim some of that space and some of that space. And we'll reclaim some of that and some of that. I'm very not happy with how this is turning out. I'm gonna create it. Now let's okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab this whole section. And we are going to cut and paste, which will put that on a new layer. Then we're going to hide that. And we're going to make, first we'll deselect, and then we will create a new layer. And on this layer, I'm going to grab, no, we're not going to grab that. We're going to grab out of here. Actually, let's use the gradient tool. I have one. I've got a gradient tool. So if I do background there, if I do that, is that about what I want to do? Yeah, that's about what I want to do. So let's go rectangle. We're going to do something about the same size. And then we're going to come over here to the gradient tool. We're going to take our foreground to background. And we're going to go corner to corner. That should give us a fairly good gradient. Okay, that's actually way easier than I thought. I expected to do a lot more messing around with it. I didn't have to. There we go. This color needs to be darker. So let's try that. It needs to be darker and it needs to be bluer. Yeah, that looks about right. And then this one needs to be redder. A little brighter. And you're right around there. See what we got there? Ooh, that needs to be darker than that. And that needs to be still slightly brighter. There we go. That's reasonable. That's about what we're looking for. Something like that. This side to this side. A little steeper. This one needs to be desaturated a little. Bit more. Not that much. There we go. Now it just needs to be a little bit darker. Okay, yeah, that looks about right. Now, let's begin by figuring, where does this dress start? Let's deselect, go back to our brushes, and we'll start with the dress color, and that needs to go around here. So we've got this little kind of bit there, and then swoops upward and around. What I want to go for here and there we go. And now we go to our black. Swoop around here and come upward. Here we get our shoulder pads. Should be about like that, about like that, and this. kind of goes in the middle. Form that up there. And now I want to do our arms. And our arms no, before we do the arms, we want to do the... That's too red. I want to do the hair. Because the hair... Do a new layer, put it underneath, and we're going to go... Here's kind of the line of the back of the hair. Oh, I've still got it on transparent. What is going on here? Oh. It's because I'm drawing underneath of it. Okay. If I'm going to do layers, then I need to back up all the way to when I just had this. A little bit here. Now we create a new layer. Let me start over with that. I drew on the wrong layer is the most common complaint of artists. That, and I flipped my canvas, now everything looks wrong. From here, we're going to do the, actually, let's do the, no, let's do. So that comes up from there. And there's a form of a turtleneck here. With a big old shoulder pad on this side. A big old shoulder pad on that side. But the shoulder pad on this side is obscured by turtleneck. Turtleneck comes out and circles around right there. And now we're going to go no, we're not going to go with that. We're going to go with the hair. We're going to do a new layer, and we're going to move it down to the bottom, and we're going to do kind of the swoop of the hair. So like this. Now that cuts up and in. Cuts up higher than that. Cuts up and in. Then there's a little lock of hair there. A little lock of hair there. A little bit sticking up here. I want to think in terms of these large shapes. And this should actually cut around more like this. Cuts in right there. So kind of this is the shape of the hair, but there's a face that sits up on top of it. But we'll do this larger silhouette first. I'm not doing line art because it doesn't fit the kind of thing I'm trying to do here. And then we'll do, here's the neck. We'll do neck here. Here's the swoop of the head. Yeah, I'm not getting these proportions right. What I really need to do is work more with a grid method. Kind of think in terms of, there's the side. Here's the other side. The middle. And just kind of divide this up. This is one of many ways that you can work on getting your proportions correct. Excuse me. So if you just kind of divide that up, and then you divide up your other bit in the same way, like if we it doesn't want me to duplicate the layer. But if I do that, wonder if I can do this. No. Let's duplicate that layer, and I will use move layer. If we move the layer, it's not letting me link ruler to layer, no. Guide to ruler. Show ruler. Link ruler to layer. I'm trying to figure out how to move the guidelines over. What I would like to do is just move these guidelines. Select layer. I don't know how to do what I'm trying to do, which is to move a collection of guidelines around on the layer. I'm gonna have to go to look into how to do that. Anyway, that's my showing up for the week. Thank you for showing up again. It's appreciated. And again, do the little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit. And okay, bye.